Hey guys, Big J here, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, with round 6 done and dusted, let's see how the team went this week. This week we scored 2,270 points, so just above par, and I was really happy about that. You'll see a couple of injuries in the team that really hurt our score, but probably hurt everyone's scoring this week. We moved up 232 spots, so now we're in 2,094th position. So not too bad. Our team value is 11,767,000. I wish it was a bit more, but we've got a lot of the rookies happening at the moment, so they're going to keep their scoring up, and we're going to be fine that way. And we're still in the top 1%, so no complaints. If we quickly look at the team, boy oh boy, look at all those red dots on there. It is not a good week for Supercoach owners, and I think we're going to have a lot of pain coming up soon. In the back line, obviously Ridley didn't play, but I had Cozzy on the bench. And as opposed to some other people who got rid of Cozzy early, he actually did really well. When he kicks goals, he scores points, so no complaints. Lloyd scored 106, so his scoring's been pretty up and down. I think we brought him in at the start of the season at like 630k. I think that was the right move to do, but I think his scoring is going to be more around this number instead of the 130s and 140s we saw last year. Dawson's taking a lot of kick-ins. Lloyd's the second or third man in that rotation now, and yeah, it just doesn't look good. But we own him, we're going to keep him. Stewart scored a 109, so pretty happy. Similar to Lloyd, I think he's sharing a bit of the ball with someone like Atkins, so his scoring's just not as well. Short. Oh boy. I'm glad we have him, but Hooley's coming back has really changed things up, I think, and he's just not getting the ball as much. I'm hoping that it's just clangers. He'll get a bit more of the ball later, and maybe Hooley gets injured, we'll see what happens, but yeah, it's not good. Giath, mate. Oh, I was really worried about having him along this week after his score in the 70s, but that last quarter, him and Impey went bang. I think he scored about 30 odd points in the last quarter, so I'm pretty happy about that. Chapman. Bloody Chapman. Seriously, this D6 position, I think if I could redo the whole season again, I'd just have run 6 primos to start with and not a D6, because Chapman's been in and out of my team this week, and I'm just not happy. Scorer 36, didn't see a lot of the ball down back, but his scoring and his price, just checking Supercoach Plus, his break-even is basically what his scoring is now. So you got to start thinking about getting rid of him. And the fact that we got him in at 200k, 60k for a trade just isn't worth it. I mean, it's better than a donut, which is really good, but it's really painful now. Cool. And then, yeah, Cozzy scored 200, really reset his scoring and his cash generation, because he was out of the team for a week or two, I think. So negative 48, can't beat that. He's going to ride that wave for the next couple of weeks. So if he has another good couple of games, he's going to end up being about 350k, which is really good. But also, the benefit is that he plays, and rookies that play are good rookies. We don't want those DNPs like Highmore that we've kept for 4 weeks, but I'm not really going to trade out a 117k rookie. It's just not worth it. McRae did McRae things, which is really good. Shed a bit of scoring with Dunkley and Bont, but I think Bailey Smith's really the one who, I know at the start of the season we were talking about, who's going to be ahead, who they're going to have to share with. They're all going to drop down to 100 because there's now 4 or 5 of them sharing mid-time. I think Bailey Smith's the one that's really fallen off. And I guess that's kind of fair with him being the youngest, the most inexperienced player, but what can you do? Bit disappointed this week with Oliver. Obviously a 114 is fantastic, but I feel like he could have done a lot more. I think his AFL fantasy stats was like a 135, but he had a couple of clangers, so now he's got a 114 in Supercoach. Similar to a Merritt, the same type of situation. Got a lot more of the ball this week, which was nice, but yeah, I'm not going to complain. It's over 100. Merritt's had a couple of shocking weeks, so I'm glad with that. Laird. Oh, Laird. I love you, mate. But Yeah, 111, can't complain. I think I'm going to end up switching him down to the back line soon, and then just holding out, waiting for a backline defender to come really cheap. You've got a couple. You've got your Houstons and Caleb Daniels. I think Stephen May is going to be a super cheap option as well, because he just had that injury. And I think he's got a 3 or a 4 in his rotation of 3-round average, so it's pretty good. But we'll see what happens. Tommy Powell. Oh, one of the shining lights for a North Melbourne fan, and I'm really glad that he's doing this well. First year player. I don't know, man. Can't complain. Goulden. Mate, I'm really hoping he doesn't get dropped this week, but I've got this sneaky suspicion that he will. I'm not going to be trading him this week. I've got a couple of other things that we need to fix, but he's really on the radar for this week or next week. So we'll see what we do with the cash, but yeah. And Jordan. Oh, mate, I'm really glad we weren't one of the people who traded Jordan out at 200k. I know some people did, but yeah, his price and his scoring, similar to a Cozzy, negative 16. So he's going to end up at something like 350k. And as the buy rounds come around, those cheaper rookies are really going to be worth it, because he's basically one up, one down. Fife obviously didn't play. Scott did really well. I didn't actually realise he was almost 27. I thought he was a bit younger, but that age and consistency kind of fits in. So I can see Bevo keeping him around for a long time. McNeil's been in and out and been the injury sub, and obviously those two were the two choices at the start of the season. But yeah, Scott's scoring's pretty good. So for a 102k rookie with a negative 8 BE, you'll definitely take that. If you can get to 250, 300, I'm happy. He might even just end up being bench cover. We'll see how we go. Gawn and Grundy did Gawn and Grundy things. We ended up VCing Grundy with Gawn this week. So I'm happy with the 147. Obviously 153 is higher, but are you really going to try and just say, okay, I won't take a 147? Like, come on. Grundy with the 153 is actually quite interesting. This is round 7, and they're basically the same price as what they were when you started them. So that says a lot about their scoring. A lot of people are like, oh, they're going to drop down in price. They're not going to be cheap. You know, they're not going to be this expensive. How can they keep up a 150? And it's like, well, there you go. 124 average, 141 average. Like, can't complain, guys. Come on. And Matty Flynn. I'm actually a bit worried about Flynn, but if he holds his spot, then he's great. He's probably got 2 or 3 more price rises in him before you've actually got to start thinking about, do I trade him, do I not trade him? But then you're getting pretty close to the buys, so you might just hold him through there as a bench cover. It might be like the last person to trade out, unless someone's really cheap, and you can go like a Flynn downgrade, and then double upgrade on a rookie. So that might be really good too. Bloody Dunkley. When he did his shoulder, I was worried. And then when he came back on and did his shoulder again, I was just like, man, what can you do? But yeah, he's going to be out for a long time. I think 3 or 4 months with the shoulder reco. So he's done. We've got to trade him out. I'm glad that he had another price rise, because he was about 610 and then he's now 634. So we can play around with his money, which is really good. But, you know, I would have liked to not have to trade him and save the player. And, you know, some people still didn't have Dunkley, and point of difference. So, Zeeble, mate. Making North Melbourne look good. I know some people that actually captained him last week, and he popped out a 169 out of nowhere. So, he's getting a lot of the ball in the North backline, and I think he will from now on. North just seems to do these little shitty, like, chip kicks, back and forward, and Zeeble will get 3 or 4 of those in a run before the ball even gets out of the back 50. So, I'm really happy. Dustin Martin. Oy. If I could take back something from this year, apart from starting Dom Tyson and Cripps, Dustin Martin round 2 would have been happy with anyone else, and we almost had the money to do that. But he's so up and down, and obviously he got injured, but he basically did nothing in the first half anyway. So he's gone off to New Zealand this week. He's on a 1-week sabbatical with concussion. Hopefully he comes back next week and he just starts killing it, because that's what we want. Impey, similar to Giath before, really bad first 3 quarters and then went bang. I don't know what happened. I think Clarko told him to pull his finger out and carry the team, and that's basically what happened. I think they still ended up losing, but he did really well. Oh no, Hawks won this week. Hey, go Hawks. Warner with a 73. I'm really glad we've kept him. I know I brought him in just before the bubble, but some people had traded him out. And he's looking like a really good D6 or even bench cover rookie, which is what you kind of want going into the finals and going into the deeper rounds where you don't have as many trades and you're trying to cover your spots. McCreary played. I brought him and McRae in last week. I don't think I showed that on the video, but that saved me the 225k that you see up the top here. So those two coming in. McCreary is my dusty cover this week. I think he kicked 3 or 4 goals, which is really good for his job security considering Buckley's on the ropes and he needs to play players who kick goals. So yeah, I think he just cemented his spot for a few weeks, which obviously for Supercoach is really good. So what are we going to do this week? Well, Ridley's coming back, which is really nice. And if we just have a look at who's playing. So I think I might... I'm waiting for teams to come out because we don't have a lot of cover. So what I might do is I might actually VC McRae and then go into a C in Gawn and we'll see what happens. Gold Coast, my cover, play on Saturday. So I've only really got someone to choose here. Comben would have been a way better pick for Fife, especially because Flynn's playing. But, you know, it's week 7, you can't really do much now about it. So this week's trades. We're going to do 2 trades. I've had a bit of a look at it and seeing how we go, and it works out. So this week we're going to trade Mr. Rowe over here. I think he's going to end up getting dropped this week. And obviously Dunkley has to go. So, yeah, I feel like he's going to get dropped. And his scoring is just terrible. Giving me that many headaches. And if you're getting headaches in Supercoach, just get rid of the player. It doesn't matter. So Scott's going to go into the forward line, which opens up a mid and a forward spot. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in... Let's just search it. So this week we're going to bring in Big Zorko. I was thinking about starting him, but I was a bit worried about his age and Neil and everyone else doing really well. But he should end up being a forward keeper and hopefully gets a bit more of the mid time. If we quickly check over here at AFL and go over to Stats Pro, I don't know if I've shown you guys this yet. In Stats Pro, you can actually have a look at how players are going and their stats compared to everyone else, but also their heat map, and that's what we're going to look at today. So let's check out Zorko. He's rating pretty well, some below average, but he's a midfielder, and handballs not so much. But he's a lead in kicks, so 17 kicks a game is pretty good. You can also see the highlights of the players in the week, and if we scroll over here to stats, that's all him compared to the rest of the field, and where he's been on ground, and where his possessions are. So if you see, Zorko's a big smack bang right in the middle. So, as I said at the start of the season, if you can get midfielders in other positions that are scoring well, get them in if you can. So your defenders that are midfielders, and your forwards that are midfielders, they're going to score a lot of the ball, and he's getting a lot of the ball in the midfield. So, fingers crossed he stays healthy for the rest of the season, but that's what we're going to do right now. So Zorko is coming in, and a midfielder that we're looking at is going to be Big Sammy Walsh. So let's come over here to FootyWire, which is another program, another website that we can use. And we go over to player profile, Carlton, and Sam Walsh. Cool. So this has got all his stats for the year, where he's ranked this year in different positions. So how many handballs, what ranking he's in handballs, so on and so on. So if we check out his Supercoach profile, he's only had 1 score under 100. So it's pretty good. Sub 600k. Guys are going to get really expensive pretty soon because this is kind of the bottom of the dip. And any guys that I can get over 600k, that are going to be over 600k in a couple of weeks, you got to get them in. So it's going to hurt my cash in the bank a little bit, but I think it's the right way to go. So let's go to complete trades. Done. And that's the team at the moment. Oh, and McCreary's going to come on field. So I'm hoping that everyone here gets named. No donuts, which is what I'm trying to avoid. And yeah, in the next coming weeks, we're going to get rid of Chapman. And then probably hold a couple of these rookies. Definitely Powell, Jordan, Warner, until the buys. So they should make a little bit more money. And it's just that consistent scoring. We've only got 18 trades left. I wish I had a lot more. But what can you do, you know? Starting with poor players and making a couple of mistakes, trying to chase some money has done that for me. So, yeah. Let me know how you guys went. Tell me your trades this week. And I hope you had some good scoring. Have a nice day, guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Bye.